Welcome to Banjo Quest. Today we are going to continue our look at fretless banjo playing. And today I want to show you how to escape from home position. We learned in the last couple of videos that hand position is really important when you're looking for great intonation. But I told you not to break position very often. We want to avoid breaking position because we want to maintain good intonation. But what happens when you want to leave home base? You've got to venture out into parts unknown eventually. You want to seek out those high sparkly notes on the fretboard. And today I'm going to show you how to reliably leave that home position and still maintain great intonation all the way up to the 7th fret. So what I'm doing for this video is I've divided the fretboard into 3 distinct positions, and I'm providing you with an exercise for each of those positions to help orient you within them. Tab will be available for patrons over on Patreon. Let's dive into the first position. Okay, the first position is one we've already looked at. We are 2 finger widths above the nut in first position, and here is my exercise for you. I'm going to play it nice and slow. I'll rake through the strings one at a time using my position, not visual cues, but my positioning to rely on to get those intonated notes. So now let's take a look at second position. Second position, we're going to be using our 5th string tuning peg as a physical reference for our hand so that we can get a 5th fret note with our ring finger. Don't use your visual cues. Try not to look at the banjo. To find it, slide your hand up the neck, dead end into the tuning peg with your thumb, then put your ring finger down on the 1st string, and you should be magically, with some little adjustments, a unison with your 5th string. Now, let me show you an exercise that I like to do for this position to get used to going from home to second position. I'm going to start in second position. Let's get this going a little faster. Notice I am not sliding. I am using static positions on the neck, static notes, no slides, because I want to get used to intonating and hearing how those notes are working in relation to each other in terms of pitch. And if I'm sliding, I'm not going to get that nice, clear snapshot of a static note. Let's get it going a little bit faster. And I don't know if I can do it faster. We'll try. That was a little faster and it was a little sloppy, so you'll have to forgive me, but you can keep ramping up the tempo and get used to flowing between that second position and the first position. All right, let's go on to the third position. The third position is a little bit more challenging. We are still going to be using our 5th string peg as our physical reference point. But what we're going to have to do, and this is a big no-no in normal banjo playing, we're really going to have to stretch a little bit. So for third position, my 1st finger is now at the 5th fret position on the 1st string. So I move from 2nd position to 1st position, and you can do it by feel. I'm really hanging on that 5th string peg. Don't do this, because if you have to get back down, which you often have to do on a fretless banjo, get down to 1st position, you've got to do this little dance between the 5th peg. We've all done it a million times. Here's how to avoid that. Get into 2nd position, break 2nd position to 3rd position. You just break up, and it starts to become second nature after a while. I'm really used to having this as 3rd position, and this puts me in line for a 7th fret note with my ring finger and a 5th fret note with my 1st finger. So now let me show you the exercise for the 3rd position. We're actually going to duplicate what we did for the 2nd position. So it sounds a little something like this. so the really nice thing about these exercises is that they play nicely with learning our Breaking Up Christmas rendition that we've been working on for the last couple weeks. So let me play you a little bit of that tune and you can see the position switching in action. So that little clip illustrates me using all three positions on a fretless neck. I'm using physical cues on the banjo itself to derive my position. And I think that's really important. Again, we don't want to imagine frets on that board. We want to feel where we are on the board and listen to our intonation and make micro adjustments on the fly. You'll get better and better at this the more time you spend playing fretless banjo, but you need to go slow and you need to make sure that that intonation is correct. Don't use slides to cover up your inability to intonate correctly. You really want to be able to intonate well and then add the slides on later. And using these three position guides will really help you do that. All right, that is it for Banjo Quest this week. I will see you next week right here. Thanks to all of my supporters and patrons over on Patreon. I'm going to put the tab there for this week's lesson, and there's a whole lot of other material on fretless banjos over on Patreon, including how to get a lot of clarity, just as much clarity as you can get on a fretted instrument. You can get it on a fretless one as well, and I show you how to do that over on Patreon. So hop on over, it's a great community, and I will see you next week right here on Banjo Quest.